Hello there, my spirited living friends, community, those who are dedicated to bringing the qualities of the divine feminine back into our world by accessing your own inner goddess team, whether you're male or female, gender free. Welcome, welcome. Deborah Roth here, and wonderful to be back. And I love when I do this. Hello, friends. I love when I happen upon a goddess. More and more they're being suggested by some of you who have tuned into my YouTube channel years after, sometimes years after I've actually done these on Instagram and Facebook. And this goddess is one such one like that. I do post after I do my Facebook and Instagram live. I post them on my YouTube channel, which is just Deborah Roth at YouTube, and really invite you as we're on this journey together to really access this powerful energy that exists in all of us, the energies of compassion and honoring our intuition and honoring our emotions and vulnerability, all the things that you hear about connected with the divine feminine. And not that there aren't divinely masculine qualities too, but we're focusing on some of these because on the divine feminine here, because it really those are the qualities that our world so desperately needs now. Away from violence, away from war, away from all the struggles that our civilization is in right now, especially as we enter, as Pluto enters Aquarius now. That's a big deal. Google that. I'm not going to go into that here. So I think if you, somewhere on the YouTube channel, there's an eye that you can put to get more kind of background about why I'm so passionate about invoking the divine feminine in all of us and bringing that back to the world. And the Greek goddess, who you probably heard of, but I didn't know she was such a big deal, that one of my YouTube subscribers suggested. I don't remember, after looking at one of my other probably deep dark goddesses there, is Nyx, Nyx. And she predated the Titans, who were the parents of the Olympians, Zeus and Hera and all the Olympian gods and goddesses. She predated all of those, and is actually said, her myth is that she was born out of chaos, and that from that chaos she carries the dark with her. And I'm going to have to I have to refer to my notes with this one because she's not one that I knew really well. So she emerges at chaos at the beginning of time, and she is the personification of night, and she holds power in that role over darkness, over dreams, over the mystery of the unknown, which if you look at the symbolism of the moon, for instance, we're coming up to a full moon on Thursday when I'll be doing my full moon meditation on the phone. If you look at the metaphor of the full moon, the new moon, it's all about our unconscious and how much are we in fully conscious state at the full moon, and when are we most able to dive deep into our dreams, into the unconscious world, both our personal unconscious, but also the collective unconscious. And that's during the new moon time. Nyx ruled that time. So she's a wonderful one to call on if you want help literally in dream interpretation, or if you want guidance or support as you explore your own shadow side, the places where you're most vulnerable, or the character traits that are hovering on the outskirts and that you want to reclaim, so that they don't spook you, so that you can own them as power sources. So she's a great one for all of that. She was the mother of a bunch of different deities. She messed around with a lot of different gods and goddesses, but her main consort, her main partner was where is his name? Because it's one that I wasn't familiar with either. Erebus. And through her marriage with him, she gave birth to Aether or Aether, the god of light, and Hemera, who was the goddess of the day, and then many other gods and goddesses since then, all of them associated with the dark in one way or another. Hypnos, you like that Hypnos, does that sound familiar? Who was sleep. Thanatos, who was death. Let's see, Moros, doom, and the three fates, Clotho, Lachesis, and Atropos. So she rules the darkness, and yet you don't hear a whole lot about her in Greek mythology. Maybe because Zeus was so terrified of her that he didn't, so the story goes, that he whenever she needed anything, or whenever any of her children were about to be punished by Zeus, he backed off because she was so powerful. So the story is that she lived in the depths of Tartarus or Tartarus, the dark recesses of the underworld, and that the dark misty air that surrounded there was said to be Erebus, her soon to be partner, and that she would rise from that place. That was such a beautiful way and I always give my references. I'm big on that. The websites that I pull a lot of this fun information from. Her story goes that each night she would emerge from her cave within Tartarus and hand in hand with Erebus, and she would block out the light that was emitted from Aether, from the god of light, and bring night and darkness to the world. And then in the morning, Hemera, who was the goddess of the day, would then emerge from Tartarus and sweep away the darkness, and Nyx would go back to Tartarus and sleep, I guess, for the rest of the day. So remember that Herema, whatever her name was, Erebus was not. She was Nyx's daughter, so they were never in the same place at the same time. There's actually, and it's funny, as I was reading this, there's a little book that I read that I got for my granddaughters a while ago, and then discovered that it was based on a Disney short, a Pixar short called Day and Night. That's a really beautiful depiction of how pieces of day emerge with pieces of night. It's really this sweet animation. So look for that. And I just Googled day and night animation, and first I saw was the book. So it's that kind of beautiful integration with day and night. And even though she's the primordial goddess of night, and many people feared her, she was also, look at all the kids she had, and I haven't even named them all. She was also known to be a very strong maternal figure. So in addition to the other things, the night-related, dream-related things that you can call on for her, you're also able to call on her for protection when you want to go into those vulnerable places, those deep, unconscious places, subconscious places that can sometimes be scary to do. A good one if you're in therapy, or if you want support for those kinds of deep dives. What else do I want to tell you about her? I think that's probably the gist of it. I think I love talking about goddesses of the dark, because that's such a place that we've put, that frankly the patriarchy has put some pretty heavy duty symbolism around. The womb is dark. Women were considered dirty and evil, and nighttime and being in the dark of winter. People are so. Or the dark of the moon. There's so much mythology and symbology that this is a bad place, when actually, when you're dealing with goddesses like Nyx, when you're dealing with these cold winter months, when you're dealing with the new moon, it's a time to take this inner journey. Invite Nyx to make that journey with you, so that you can really search out those shadow places within, and those places that you may not be comfortable addressing in the light of day. It's a good time, both seasonally. We're doing this at the end of January, seasonally, and in the darkest weeks of the year. And the full moon is on Thursday, but we're still in the waxing moon time. So this is all part of my campaign to not demystify, because I think that's the word I was going to use, but it's wrong. Not demystify the dark, but to embrace the dark and the mysteries. That's a good way to put it. And embrace the mysteries that live there and the mysteries that live within yourself. And when you take the time to go within, when you steady the surface, so to speak, of our conscious mind and just let things settle in, what kind of pearls will you find there? And Nyx is one of those goddesses that can help you to do that. So there's a wonderful chant that I think I've shared maybe once, maybe twice before, probably usually around goddesses of the night, or the dark goddesses. I think I did one with the Black Madonna, which also has amazing stories behind her, somewhere on my YouTube channel if you just search for Black Madonna. But this is a beautiful chant that it's from Shelley Graff, who has wonderful women's chants. And I've got a couple of her albums, having connected with her. Hello, Jennifer. Having connected with her at a women's conference. So settle yourselves in. I always sing these, 1 or 2 times, and you can always come back and listen to it when you want. And remember that chanting is a vocal meditation. So allow yourself to go into the deep places with Nyx, maybe by invoking her with this chant. We hear your cry deep in the night. You're not alone. We'll hold you tight. Deep in your hearts, wrapped round your soul, open your heart, and you will know. One more time. We hear your cry, deep in the night. We'll hold you close. You're not alone. We'll hold you tight. Deep in our hearts, wrapped round your soul. Open your heart, and you will know. So I leave you with that. Open your hearts, open yourself, your deepest self, to your gifts. Invite Nyx to come along with you and let me know how the journey goes. Thanks so much for joining me. We'll see you next time.